Hey guys, Elite Legionarii here, and today I'm bringing you a 2 vs 2 on a map in Bell's mod map pack, kind of a foresty map with some nice open areas. I'm in command of the Brutii Romans, my ally, who is down here, who unfortunately is a AI opponent. I had to drop him almost instantly, well before we even started, because he had connection problems pretty much instantly. People started the deployment button. So this is an AI, who is the Julli. Then there's Blue here, it's Prince of Spain, who is the Scipii. Way up here, as you can see, this map's got some nice open areas, but big forest in the middle as well, so it's quite a cool map. And over here is Mumboman, who is Pontus. My army consists of 4 units of gold early legionary cohort. Now, it was a low money game, it was 10k, so that's why I've only got 4 infantry units, and they're only a weaker unit like this, but I actually thought it'd be quite cool to use these early legionaries, because they don't get used that often, and I do like to try and challenge myself a bit with the armies I use. I also have 4 units of Roman archers, gold attack, and 3 units of gold legionary cavalry, and with my general in this unit here. Now the Pontic player has got 4 units of bronze shields, no upgrades, 4 units of archers, no upgrades, 5 units of Cappadocian cavalry, no upgrades, and 2 units of Eastern general, no upgrades. So he's got quite a lot more men than I do, and those Cappadocians could be a problem, just because they're a powerful charge. But the upgrades should make a difference. But you can, if you have powerful enough units, even with no upgrades, they can do a lot of damage. So over here, my AI ally, it was a player named Thordaddy, but of course, like I said, he left. He is a Roman general. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 Praetorian cavalry, Samnite gladiator, and 5 urban cohort. No, 4 urban cohort and a legionary first cohort. So he's gone with a big unupgraded army as well. And same with the Scipii player, who has 3 Roman archers, 4 Praetorian cavalry. Sorry, 4 Roman archers, 4 Praetorian cavalry, and 2 Praetorian cohort, and I think it's 6 urban cohort and 1 Praetorian cohort rather. So he shouldn't have any trouble beating the AI. It's only on medium. And so the Pontic player is going to aim to hill camp up here, so I'm going to have to move pretty quick to deprive him. I don't want to. I only walk a certain distance. I don't want to run too far because I don't want to tire my men. Kind of annoying that he wants to hill camp, but whatever. I've bashed down hill campers before off their little heights, so I would attempt to do it again. So basically the actions over here, and the Scipii players pretty much got this one in hand, which wasn't good for me. But this battle is quite long, so if you want to, when it gets, it'll be a bit of moving around later, because it just goes on for a while. So if you want to skip, so basically the Scipii players pulverized him. So here I was moving in. Now he actually times his strike really well here. He's a bit out of position though, but my men don't get fully formed. They more or less do, but they're not going to get fully formed before he charged, or only a couple of my units will, so that's kind of a nuisance. And look at that, even with my upgrades, my early legionary cohort is pretty much getting pulverized by these Cappadocian cavalry. But because of his overzealous attack, I'm intercepting here with this unit, and I'm going to surround him with other units. So his men won't be, once the battle goes on for any amount of time, his men won't be able to hold in as long because they don't have the staying power as me. But he could do a lot of damage with those Cappadocians, as you can see. If he pulled them out here, he could have been quite decisive with them. But as you can see, I've more or less destroyed them. He was smart too. His charge stopped me, getting me to use my peeler. So that's quite bad. Now his bronze shields are coming because I was weakened by those Cappadocians. That's going to be quite hard, but I managed to outflank him here, and my archers get flank shots. And here I'm going to pull out my cavalry because I see this bronze shield coming in. But as you can see, he's going to do quite a bit of damage here. But the smart, like I said, those Cappadocians really could have busted me open if he had really timed it well. But I was slightly out of position, so he timed his strike quite well. But I managed to pull it together just in time. So I kill his general, and I see an opening here. I'm going to ignore his cavalry completely. There's still quite a lot of units, and I'm just going to finish off his bronze shield right now. So that's the end of his infantry, and that frees me up completely. And now he can send the rest of his men in, and they'll just get destroyed. So that's pretty good for me. I fairly finished his army off. He had a lot of superior units, but I had more upgrades, or a lot more upgrades, but he had a lot more men, so it was kind of even. And he did get that nice strike in, and even with his lack of upgrades, those Cappadocians destroyed a lot of my infantry. And my archers were a bit higgledy-piggledy, I guess, but I didn't really get a lot of time because the action sort of just hit so fast. But now he managed to rout an archer unit though, and he also, but I routed his unit there. I finished off the remainder of these bronze shields, and I'm going to finish off his Cappadocians. But he manages to rout one of my legionary cavalry units. But he could have actually probably done more damage there, but he admits defeat and then he quits. But I was going to come with a hammer and anvil there anyway. So that's him pretty much defeated. It was a good game though. Shame he just sort of quit and then left, So that's a pretty fast, quick-paced battle. He did quite a bit of damage. As you can see, some of these units got halved, but the upgrades obviously paid off. And most people just don't upgrade, and I don't really understand why. Well, not most people, quite a few people. Upgrades is important though. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to triple speed now because me and the Scipii move around quite a bit to get positioned, and it takes quite a while. So I'm just organising myself, I believe, and then I'll start moving. Yep, just organising, and the army should get on the move any moment now. And guys, just feel free to skip ahead a few minutes until you get to the action, because this bit does take a bit, moving around. The battle takes place sort of way around here, sort of over in this area over here, where I am now in this sort of bowl here. It will take a bit of time before I'm there. And he's now on the move, and he's pretty much unscathed. He took a lot less casualties than I did. And if you look at his infantry, he's got 7 infantry units as opposed to my 4 and that urban cohort. So I actually, even with my gold upgrades, I only have a tiny stat edge on those urbans, absolutely minuscule. So they're still equally as good as me. Plus, so I'm depleted and he's not. So that's still fairly even. And he's got enough cavalry to match me, but of course my upgrades will make a difference. The only thing I've really got the advantage in here was the archers, because they're upgrades, and they picked up an experience thing, because they only hit. I never go any more than gold attack usually with archers. I don't really see the point in adding defense. Sometimes I might add an extra chevron to them if I have some extra money, but I never see the point in adding defense. The defense upgrades to them, because they're not. Once they get into the thick of battle, they're not that kind of battle, melee battle. They're not very reliable. Unless Forester Warband are okay. Pharaoh's Guards are okay as well. But even they're not that great. The archers are not meant to play that kind of warfare. So I don't usually put upgrades into that sort of thing. They usually spend it elsewhere, unless I've got excess money and I can't really put it anywhere else. So I was sort of hoping I might be able to use, this sort of maybe a hill to my advantage, get some height advantage. I don't particularly want a hill camp, but I wasn't certain I'd be able to beat this army. like I said, even without upgrades, urbans are not a lot, only a tiny, I think it's only like 2 points in the statistics that are short of gold early legendary cohort, plus he's got a lot more of them. He's got twice as many infantry as me, and they're much fresher than mine, some of them being nearly at full strength, whereas mine are only about half strength, or 75%. So my upgrades are going to play an important part here, but you know, inferior infantry, inferior cavalry, less cavalry, you know, so things coming against me there, but I got upgrades in my favour. So on the bar it said I was distinct possibility of losing, which of course usually doesn't take upgrades and skills into account, so you know, so you usually don't listen to that. And I said to him at this point, are you going to hill camp? He said, and he asked me the same question. I said I would prefer not to, but seeing your army, I probably need to a certain extent. But he said, I'll come down to the down here, but I'm not going uphill. And I said, fair enough. So we agreed that we'd just fight down even ground for the most part. But I managed to outposition him, and I do end up getting like being on the slope of this sort of bowl when we fight. So it does give me a little height edge without like majorly hill camping. Again, guys, feel free to skip ahead unless you want to hear me rap it on. I mean, you know, when I did this, you know, I hadn't been playing much online stuff. I mean, I've been mucking around with mods a lot of late. I managed to get quite a few of them to work, you know, and I even got the Europa Barbarorum one to actually work, and it's pretty awesome. And it's just fun to like check out the new units and, you know, to test the new campaign out, new campaign styles and things out. And yes, I've sort of been busy doing that. The only thing that disappoints with mods is there's no one to play, and you know, it's kind of, you know, if you spend too much time with them, you can get, you know, skills can get kind of rusty because the AI, you only got the AI to fight, and the AI is terrible. So here we go, but guys, it's about to start. The battle is about to start again. So I'm going to bring it into action. Now he brings his archers forward here. Now I was really tempted to strike with my cavalry, but his cavalry's right there as well. And I figure I've got a height edge. I get the first few volleys of arrows off, and my archers are cleaning up his archers, so I just let my archers do the work for me. It's more safer. I need my cavalry. So when he starts to come forward like this though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my cavalry to chase him down, and what will happen is his men will run back, and that'll stop them firing on my men. It'll give my men more chances to fire on him without taking return fire. So it's kind of a useful strategy if you can do that to archers. But as you can see, I don't need my cavalry to defeat them. My archers are doing a really good job of it. But I attempted it anyway. I thought I'll give it a go. So in a moment, my cavalry will come forward. But as you can see, I've taken if any casualties at all. And I'm going to bring a cavalry unit forward to try and finish them off. He'll bring his own cavalry forward though to stop me, but what the usefulness of this is, his men start to run away, but they're not firing back, and they're still taking arrows from my men. And I just think I'll just do that, and he does it with his, you know. But by this point, you see, he took his attention away for that amount of time, and his archers are pretty much done. And I've hardly taken any casualties at all. As you can see, these archers are rejoicing. So this was important. Winning the archer duel was important, and it worked really well. And as you can see, he's got pretty much nothing left, so I'm just going to clean them out pretty fast. And I believe he thought I'd based my peeler on those peasants. He's mistaken. So, you know, out of all the Roman factions, the Brutii are probably my least favourite, solely because of colour, of course. They're all almost entirely identical, all of them, except for their gladiator unit. And the best gladiator unit is the Samnite gladiator, and it's definitely the best. I've tested it, all gladiators versus each other, and the Samnites always come out on top. if they fight. They are the best. And the other ones that the Julli and the SPQR have. But other than that, all the Roman factions are the same, so basically whatever colour you like the most is usually what denotes your favourite. Or maybe the history of those sort of families then, you know. And the Brutii, there was there's an area in Italy called Brutium, and you can get Brutii swordsman stuff. And it was just I suppose if you like, you know, from that perspective. But the Julli for me, red, good colour, it's the traditional colour of Roman armies. You know, Caesar, Julius Caesar, you know, all that. It's kind of the best in my opinion. But of course the Scipii second too, and their history's good too, you know, Scipio Africanus and blue, good colour. They just look cool. You know, and it also depends, you know, what campaign you like the best out of them. Probably if I were to say the best campaign by traditional standards, I suppose, for the Romans would actually be probably the most fun. Is probably, I reckon, the Brutii going into Greece is the most challenging in my opinion. The Gauls are pretty easy to defeat, and the Brutii make a lot of money in the campaign because Greece is quite a rich area. So as you can see, I managed to outmaneuver them, and now I have a hill. I'm not going to stay on it, but I'm going to use the height to help my men, which are much lower in numbers. So here is cavalry become isolated. I was going to go right after them, but he's not going to stay. Unfortunately over here this unit would not pull back. I pulled this unit back but it wouldn't pull back, but it works to my favour because he comes after me and now I can send my units out to destroy his cavalry. And the awesome thing is it comes into range of my archers, so I can blow them to pieces with that. So here I'm going to charge in my legionary cavalry, and the battle's on, and that's actually going in his favour. But I come in here with a downhill charge and make pretty much instant short work of these Scipii cavalry now. And I will finish the rest of them off, and that pretty much deals with this cavalry component, which is useful. And now there's these cavalry out here, they'll get more attention from my archers, which is good. And my general's looking all militaristic there, so firing away at these Praetorian cav. So the cavalry is pretty much over. Now he makes this mistake here by putting this unit way out here. Don't know why he does that. So now he's going to come up and I'm going to come down, and it's going to be epic. And I'll swing my archers around the flanks. No need to really worry about cavalry anymore. And I do believe I have some peeler left. Not much though. As you can see, I'm going to get some off, but he's probably got quite a lot left, but he gets clumped, and well, to a certain extent he gets clumped. And he charges in, and I'm now, as you can see, I'm sending my archers around the flanks to stop him to get flank shots. Here I'm going to charge my cavalry in, try and knock out one side of it. As you can see, he's winning. Well, it's pretty even. I'm winning in some parts, he's winning in others. My upgrades are working, and the height is working as well. So yeah, I'm going to hammer and anvil, and it's still, you know, even cohort are tough, even without, you know, they can be surrounded and smashed to pieces. They'll hold them there forever and ever and ever. But it's saying I'm winning now, but these urbans are no doubt on hold on for a long time. But they're starting to get surrounded, and they're getting shot at as well by all my archers out here. And as you can see, I'm just going to finish off the rest of these cavalry. And his general unit is in his infantry, which is a smart move really. I probably should put mine, well, I put it in the cavalry, because I figured the cavalry would probably be my strongest unit. But usually for a Roman, I would actually stick the general in realistically they would have been in a cavalry unit, but putting them in an urban cohort unit is really smart, because urban cohort are tough. You take a hell of a beating, so he's safe in there. But as you can see, his army pretty much caves in. Now I'm going to charge downhill and smack these Praetorians in the back while they weren't looking, and his army pretty much collapses. But he must have forgotten about this urban cohort unit here, which could have made a difference if it had been involved. So I make pretty quick work of his men. And there's the Scipii general running for dear life with his noble urban guardsman. And he's going to charge in here with his last remaining urban cohort unit that has stunned their general, has seized to battle. The centurion is still bravely holding his ground, but with 1,000,000 arrows in his face and a crap load of troops coming at him, he will not last the day. So that is the end of this 2 vs 2. Only an average victory though, but a nice kill list for me. Both armies I managed to defeat, so that was pretty cool, or more or less. I had 853 kills and 217 men left. Prince of Spain had 386 kills and 33 men left, and Mumboman had 199 and 59 men left. The AI is not worth mentioning. Cavalry, these two getting really well. This unit doing pretty good, well, you know, did pretty good there against his Cappadocians. The archers did a lot of kills, and legionnaires got a fairly high amount of kills as well. You know, at least twice what they took. But the archers got a lot of kills. So good game there to, well, he wasn't there, so Prince of Spain and Mumboman. It was fun, and hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.